All right, let's see how it is. Hi everybody, I'm Christine, one of your registered dietitians for GBCA, and today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite fall and winter produce items, pumpkin. Pumpkin is so versatile. You could do almost anything with pumpkin, from savory dishes to baking. So let's talk about some of the savory things that you can do with pumpkin. You can add pumpkin to your stews or chili. You can dice it up and have it like that, like almost like a squash or a potato, or you can add it to your stews and chili in its pureed form, right? And that'll just help thicken things and add all the nutrients. And so another thing you can do with pumpkin is to make soup, right? So pumpkin soup, or you can even do things like dips with using beans, pureed beans or yogurt as the base, and then adding pumpkin with some spices, some cinnamon and those types of spices if you're looking for a sweet dip for apples or pretzels, or you can do onions and garlic and those types of flavoring for a savory dip, like using beans. So no matter what you do with it, it's going to add a lot of nutrients. One more thing that pumpkin's really good for is a substitute in baking. So you can use pumpkin as a 1-to-1 ratio in baking for an oil replacement. So oil is all fat, so if we replace the pumpkin, or replace the oil, with pumpkin, then we're reducing the fat and adding a ton of nutrients. And so yeah, if you're a baker, you might want to try that one day. Now, pumpkin is available all throughout the year, but it's going to be available in its canned form. So here's canned pumpkin. And what you want to look for, in canned pumpkin is that it's 100% pure pumpkin. And when you turn it over, the ingredients are just pumpkin. We don't really want any additives in the pure pumpkin because it makes it more versatile if you don't have anything added to it. This is available all year round, and it's a great staple to have in your pantry. So yeah, pure pumpkin, or you can opt for your fresh pumpkin if it's available at the time of year you're looking for it. And when you're going and picking a fresh pumpkin, you want to make sure that your pumpkins are firm and heavy for their size. And that's basically how to pick a pumpkin. And it's super easy to roast it too. You're just going to slice off the top and slice it in, or cut it in half, remove all your seeds, and then just brush it with a little bit of olive oil, some salt and pepper, and then just roast it in the oven. You can look up how, the timing and what temperature, and then take it out, let it cool, and the skin will actually just peel right off that pumpkin. And at that point, you can dice it or make it into chunks, or you can puree it yourself. And if you're using it right then great, and if not, then it'll freeze well too, so that you can use it at a later time. So let's talk about some of the nutritional benefits in pumpkin, because there's many. Pumpkin is a great source of vitamin A, and in fact, a half a cup of pumpkin can provide you with 100% of what's recommended every day for vitamin A. It's also a good source of vitamin K. It's got fiber and vitamin C. So again, a lot of nutritional benefits for pumpkin. So today I want to show you something really easy to do with pumpkin. Now, I mentioned some of the uses for pumpkin earlier. However, what I didn't tell you is that pumpkin would be great as an addition to oatmeal or overnight oats and smoothies. Smoothies is an easy way to get pumpkin in there, and I'm actually going to make a smoothie today and show you how easy and how delicious it could be. Not just for you, but the kids will love it too. Great breakfast, and we're going to make sure it's got everything that you'd want to eat for breakfast. So let's get started. I'm going to grab my blender over here, and I'm gonna start with some non-dairy milk. I don't drink milk, but milk is fine for this, or you can do whatever kind of milk you have in the house, okay? And the amount of milk is really going to depend. So how many do you want this smoothie to feed? Do you like your smoothies a little thicker? I tend to like mine a little thinner, so just use your best judgment. So I'm going to go ahead and put about a cup, I would say, of my non-dairy milk. You can also use coconut milk, that would be really good, or just regular milk. If you're not a milk fan at all, you can easily use water. I tend to do that a lot in smoothies too, and that works out great. Now here's my canned pumpkin. This is what it looks like in the inside. So again, it's just pumpkin, super easy. I'm gonna put about a half a cup of pumpkin into the smoothie here. So let me just get my spoon. Actually, I'm gonna put about half the can because the can is a 2-cup can. So I'm gonna put half the can. Okay, so now to that, when it comes to smoothies, I really like to make sure it's a full balanced meal. So I have my milk and I put my pumpkin in there, but I like to put chia seeds in my smoothies. Chia seeds are a great source of omega-3 fats, great for fiber, so I always put chia seeds in my smoothie. However, if you use chia and your body is used to it, then a teaspoon up to a tablespoon is fine, but if you're new to chia, then I would suggest using less. And just a side note, when you use chia, because it's so high in fiber, you want to make sure that you're drinking enough water. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon of chia in mine, but I am making a bigger amount. Okay, so a tablespoon of chia, again, a teaspoon or even a half a teaspoon if it's just for you. If you're not used to having chia. Okay, so now I'm going to put some pumpkin seeds. So not only do I love pumpkin, but I love pumpkin seeds. This is a great source of protein. And I always like to add protein to my smoothie. And because I use a non-dairy milk, it doesn't always have protein. So protein is coming from the pumpkin seeds, and I use about 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds. I just eyeball things, but it's about 1/4 cup, okay? So it's gonna add protein, but I'll just add a tiny more. Actually, it's also a really good, it's packed with magnesium, zinc, and fiber, and that's gonna help lower blood pressure and maintain good bone health. And then the pumpkin itself has all that vitamin A, which is good for your eye health and your immune health, okay? So now I don't tend to put sweetener in my smoothies, but what I do is use banana. And if the banana's ripe, it adds a lot of sweetness to your smoothie, and you don't need any additional sweetener. So the banana is going in, and to that, I'm gonna add some spice, right? Because it's pumpkin, and so what goes good with pumpkin when you're making a smoothie, I think at least, is cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, or you can do like a pumpkin pie spice. So I have a pumpkin pie spice here, and that has all of the spice that I just told you, right? So it's already done up for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a nice amount so I can taste it. And then to that, I'm going to put a pinch of cardamom powder. Cardamom I really like, but a little bit goes a long way, so not too much. As you can see, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit in, and that's it for that. And that's it. So I'm going to put the top on this smoothie, or the blender, I should say, and blend. All right, so while the smoothie is blending, all right, so I blended it for a little bit longer because remember, I did put those seeds in and I want it to, you know, make sure everything's well chopped up and blended. If the smoothie is a little thick for you, you can always add some water. You don't have to only put milk. I usually do a mix of milk and water a lot of the times because, like I said, I like my smoothies a little on the watery side. So this one is a little thicker, but I don't mind it because it's pumpkin. So actually, I take that back. I'm going to add a tiny bit of water. The chia has so much fiber that it actually thickens things. So if you didn't put the chia in, you may find that it's good and the consistency is right for you. But because I added chia and I added a good amount of chia, I did need a little more liquid. So let's give it another second and then we'll be ready to taste it. Okay, and here is my pumpkin smoothie. All right, let's see how it is. Super smooth and velvety. Okay, well, cheers. I mean, this smoothie tastes more like a dessert. It's really decadent. It's super creamy. The pumpkin has added such a nice flavor, and with all that pumpkin pie spice and the tiny bit of cardamom, it is just such a delicious, it kind of feels like a guilty treat, but it's not. It's totally good, and this would be good for the kids for a snack or for breakfast because it does have the protein. It has fiber, it's got our pumpkin, so our vegetable, and then it also has a fruit with our banana. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you enjoyed learning about pumpkin, and I hope that you incorporate pumpkin into your meal sometime soon. Cheers, everybody.